First Noel, the angel did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay, tending their sheep on a cold winter.
Hello. Usually we start off with a bit of comedy fluff to disguise the fact that the medicine is coming. Here's the fluff. For the purposes of this bit, one has to imagine that, much like an ordinary person on the internet, that I'm plagued with targeted adverts. I really don't get adverts, but let's pretend that I do. So I realise targeted adverts don't really have them on my internet must have been totally ineffective in persuading me to buy the fine products and or services on display because, while these ads still conform to the parameters of market stall Barker, it would appear the products they now display to me are done so out of corporate hatred for my ineffectiveness as a responsive consumer. Or, to put it in an unpretentious way, the ads on my browser didn't make me buy anything and so now they hate me, which you can see by the ads they're targeting me with now. Full-size Mr. Blobby costume, sir? Portrait of the sitting president? Air quotes comedian is shit t-shirt? That's me, I'm the air quotes comedian, and the targeted ad is calling me names. Or revealing deep truths. Perhaps if I wore the Mr. Blobby costume, I too could make the world tremble in cringe. I would be all-powerful, even more powerful than Noel Edmonds is, in his own mind. I could disturb trestle tables, throw blancmange, roll around, and the people would wail and gnash their teeth as I did so, but despite having lived long enough to become the villain I swore to fight, I remain in opposition to all the things I oppose, which is why I would never don a Mr. Blobby costume. There's already too much evil in the world. We need no more. What kind of episode will it be this week, I wonder? Will it be angry screaming about ramming a broken broomstick handle up the arse of evil? Or will it be teddy bears discussing the finer points of baryonic particles and then, in a shocking pullback, it's revealed that the teddy bears in the discussion group are all called Barry? I wonder if it will be that type of episode. Did he swear yet? That's usually a good indicator of how it's going to go. So, what's been on my mind of late? Meninges? Every country in the world has produced a famous artist that is widely recognised. The United States produced Billie Holiday, didn't it? Japan produced Miyuki Nakajima. Russia produced Rudolf Nureyev. Now, I want you to think quickly, dear viewer. Think of such an artist produced by so-called Israel. Didn't come up with one, did you? Or, if you did, I'm sorry to inform, but Gal Gadot isn't an artist. She's a stand-in for a department store mannequin. What culture has so-called Israel given us beyond their murder, theft, rape, endless lies, acts of terrorism, and inedible hummus? Yeah, it's shit. You should buy Palestinian or make your own hummus. It's easy. It's so easy, you'd think so-called Israel would be able to make a passable rendition of it. But unfortunately, they can't help but gloop their hatred and filth into it. It'll poison your dog if it gets into it, I'm telling you. Plus, I wouldn't trust the fucking things to remain unexploded. Either an actual bomb or just a bloat of bacterial gas or both, you know. It looks exactly the same going in as when it comes out, and it hates all Arabs at every stage of the journey. Zionism is anti-Semitic, and so-called Israel is a leading cause of anti-Semitism in the world. Not all Jews are Zionists, and I'm concerned for their safety because of what so-called Israel does in their name. Without consent. Zionism is a heresy of Judaism. Those that follow it are heretics. Now, I don't know anything about Warhammer 40k beyond the fact one of my favourite bands like that type of thing a little. Bolt Thrower. That was the band, and the only other thing I really know about it is the Imperium are soft as fuck on heretics compared to how I'd be. Yeah, I'd basically treat them exactly the same, but before their final denouement, the promised fruit cup just before their last would be denied them with a mocking laugh. No mixed fruit in heavy syrup for you before I close your throat with a zip tie. Fuck me if nothing else. One less candidate for the Eurovision. It's not a loss. Now, I know you might be thinking, you evil bastard. Those plastic zip ties are right polluting. And naturally, I would source biodegradable zip ties. I'm a conscientious and considerate human being, not some kind of monster, so rest easy, dear viewer. Zip! 4 countries have pulled out of the Eurovision Song Contest because they can't compete musically with so-called Israel, who will win the contest by virtue of the fact that they can't lose because that would be anti-Semitic, according to them. Here's a public service advisory. If you're cold, they're cold. Keep them warm this winter. I could make jokes about how the Eurovision Committee is surely overextending the event by including non-European countries, but that would fly in the ostensible spirit of the contest, to bring countries together in peace, to celebrate life with music and uplift everybody. Not to create a cheap and tacky shit show that reeks of bureaucracy involving multiple agencies and who knows where the money is flowing. I expect a significant amount was paid to Terry Wogan in gold coins, which is spirit guards in a cauldron at the end of a corridor in Television Centre. The only other thing about Terry Wogan, rest in peace, is that despite his haircut being clear evidence of crimes, Operation Yewtree didn't choose to investigate, I notice. If you don't know who Terry Wogan is, then that might be something you can look into on your own time. Ireland was one of the countries that pulled out, which makes sense. That wasn't a cheap shot at Catholic contraception, if that's what you're thinking. And if you weren't thinking that, then you're especially wrong for thinking it now. No, it's understandable that they would pull out because, obviously, Terry Wogan won't be hosting and they're not having it. You might think this is completely unreasonable, but what I think is completely unreasonable is that there is anybody in the Eurovision contest other than so-called Israel. And what will so-called Israel sing about? Love? Peace? Unity? These are aspirations of which they are incapable. Your melodies are dripping with Palestinian blood. Your harmonies are of hate. Your words are an abomination of desolation. Your chords are of chaos in the endless, and the world that knows weeps at the suffering and deprivation you have wrought, which is the only thing you are capable of doing. It could be about that, couldn't it? Or it could be a novelty song. The day Israel honoured a ceasefire. That'd be a fucking novelty, wouldn't it? Yeah, I didn't have anything for this time, so I thought I'd just insult so-called Israel for a bit because I don't know who the baddies are in the Sudan. You can see the blood trails of that conflict from space. And I just think about the fact we send out signals of greeting and welcome out into the void, don't we? And if extraterrestrials were to visit, they might see the Earth from afar and think, it's a bit polluted, but you'd expect that from a lesser species, which is obviously what these Earth types are. But we're enlightened and we'll treat them as equals, of course. We're like Steven Spielberg ETs, you know, nice. Coming up on Earth orbit and initiating landing procedures, Vince. Thanks. Vince, you might want to have a look at this. What is it? Oh my word, is that? It is, Vince. It's the dominant species blood all over that continent, as if a great boot had come down and squished them. Well, there's no obvious boot print. You mean? Of course. They did this to themselves. Because? I don't know. But I suspect Terry Wogan is involved. Somehow. That's the end of the episode. Thanks for watching. Good night.